Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about another self by James Allen as the man thinketh. Let's quickly dive into the video without wasting much time. Chapter 1: Thoughts and Character. This chapter talks about how our thoughts shape our personality and life, that a person is what they think, thoughts shape character, and character determines destiny. That every action that we take is first formed in the mind as a thought. A person with noble, disciplined, and pure thoughts will naturally develop a strong character. Conversely, negative, selfish, or undisciplined thought creates a weak, dishonest, or immoral character. Thoughts are like seeds. If you plant good seeds, you will reap good harvests. The key to self-improvement is to take control of your thoughts. One key lesson that I learned from this chapter is that if you want to improve your life, you have to start by improving your thinking, and that self-discipline in thoughts leads to self-discipline in life. Chapter 2: Effect of Thoughts on Circumstances. This chapter teaches that our thought shapes external circumstances, that our thoughts directly influence our external life, whether our successes, our failures, or our overall circumstances. Many people believe that circumstances are controlled by luck, but after reading the book, I think that circumstances are shaped by one's inner thoughts and habits. That a person with a positive thought will attract positive opportunities and success. A person with a negative or lazy thought will attract failure and hardship. Even if someone is born into poverty or faces challenges, they can change their circumstances by changing their mindset and actions. Key lesson I learned about this chapter is that if you constantly think about failure, you will fail. And if you think about success, you will find a way to succeed. So you should calm down and always breed a positive mind and a way of thinking. Chapter 3: The Effect on Thought on Health and Body. The main idea of this chapter is that a person's mental state affects their physical health. A healthy mind leads to a healthy body, while a negative thought can cause illness. For example, stress, anxiety, and negativity can weaken the body, leading to illness and disease. But calmness, joy, and self-control creates physical health and strength. People who constantly worry, get angry, or feel resentment are more likely to suffer from high blood pressure, heart disease, and other disease-related illness. On the other hand, those who think positively, practices self-control, and remain peaceful tend to be healthier and recover illness faster. Your mind and your body are connected. When you take care of your thoughts, your body benefits. One of the key lessons I'm going to take from this chapter, and you should too, is that a peaceful mind leads to a healthy body, and overcoming anger, stress, and anxiety can improve your overall well-being. So if you want to be healthier, you should try to embody the spirit of joy, love, and happiness regardless of your situation. Chapter 4: Thoughts and Purpose. The main idea of this chapter is that to achieve success, a person must have a clear purpose and direct all their thoughts towards it. For example, many people fail in life not because of lack of talent, but because of lack of purpose. A person who drifts through life without a goal will be easily distracted and discouraged. However, a person who sets a clear goal and focuses on them will eventually are more likely to be motivated and disciplined and actually find a way through life. One of my key lessons for this chapter is that having a clear purpose in life is essential for each and every one of our success. And like a focused mind creates a focused life, and that success comes from directing your thoughts towards a meaningful goal. Chapter 5: Thoughts Factor in Achievement. The main idea of this chapter is that success is not determined by background, luck, or education. It is determined by mindset and effort. For example, every successful person started with a powerful vision and belief in themselves. People who believe they will succeed find a way to make it happen. People who believe they are doomed to fail give up easily and never try to improve. Hard work, persistence, and mental strength are the keys to achievement. Those who complain, blame others, or make excuses stuck in mediocrity, just like we spoke about in the last book or the first book. Yes, one of my key lessons for this chapter is that success is 90% mindset and 10% external force, and that the only limit to success is the limit you place on your own thinking. Hard work plus positive thinking equals to achievement. So that means if you want to achieve anything in this life, you just have to tame your mindset and how you think and actually put effort. But you should know that you succeeding is 90% of the way you think and 10% of what you actually do. So yeah, you have more mind work to do than actually physical work to do. Chapter 6: Vision and Ideal. The main idea of this chapter is that a person's dream and imagination shapes their future. A great achievement comes from a great vision. For example, every great invention, business, or even a masterpiece first existed as a thought. Those who allow themselves to dream big, believe in their vision, achieve great things. Those who suppress their dreams to allow negative thoughts to dominate never reach their full potential. The key lesson I learned from this chapter is that you should dream big. Don't allow anybody to make your mind be mediocre, and don't let fear or doubt kill your ambition as well. Chapter 7: Serenity. The main idea of this chapter is that true power and happiness comes from inner peace and self-control. Calmness is strength. A person who remains composed in difficult situations has great power. That's why you should always maintain your composure and steeze for you to be able to have serenity. And the key lessons I learned from this particular chapter is that a peaceful mind is a powerful mind, and we should learn to control our emotions, and you also be able to control your life. So the book has 2 parts, and it's called Poverty to Power. This first chapter of the book talks about suffering and hardship, and suffering and hardship exists to teach us valuable lessons. Evil is not an outside force, but the result of human ignorance, greed, and negativity. But the solution is that by replacing negative thoughts with wisdom and self-discipline, one can overcome struggles. The second chapter talks about the word, a reflect of mental state, that our internal circumstance reflects in our inner thoughts and attitude. The negative people attract failure, while positive and disciplined people attract success. For example, dishonest person may gain wealth temporarily but will eventually lose it due to poor character. This third chapter talks about that instead of blaming external circumstances, that we should take responsibility for their lives. That change begins from within, and by fixing our thoughts and habits, we'll be able to fix our lives. The fourth chapter of this novel talks about how our thought is the root of all actions, and every achievement starts with a thought. And by controlling our thoughts, we gain power over our emotions and circumstances as well. This chapter talks about how a disciplined mind leads to a healthy body. Anxiety, stress, and anger causes illness, while peace and optimism promote health. Success comes from clear thinking, strong willpower, and ethical behavior. This is exactly the same thing with as a man thinketh, because they both work in hand together, and everything 6 talks about true happiness does not come from wealth or status, but from a pure mind and a kind heart, and that selfish people suffer while those who serve others find joy. And this brings me to remembering what they call servant leadership. The 7th and last chapter on this topic is the realization of prosperity, and that poverty is not just a lack of money, but a lack of wisdom and effort. The right thought and action create opportunities and wealth, and the person who works hard and thinks positively and helps others will always rise. Part 2, but still under poverty to power. This chapter talks about meditation, and that meditation helps to control the mind and overcome negative emotions. Self-reflection leads to wisdom, patience, and a clear vision for life. And there are some times that you might feel sad. You just want to breathe in and breathe out and just calm down. Then your inner self will also feel at peace. So meditating really helps. This is one of my favorite chapters, the 2 masters, self and truth. And it talks about how there are 2 forces inside every person. Self, which are like the egos, the selfishness, the desire and the greed, and truth, which contains the wisdom, kindness and humility. And that to live a successful and peaceful life, trust must rule over self. This chapter just talks about how power does not come from forces or money, but from wisdom, calmness and virtue. This particular chapter spoke to me because my name means love, and sometimes I also struggle to love myself sometimes. So it talks about how true power and peace comes from letting go of anger, revenge, selfishness, comparison, greed, and those negativity, and loving others unconditionally, and also loving yourself too, brings the highest form of success and inner peace. This is the last but not the least of the chapters. It talks about how life is temporal, wisdom and truth are eternal. A person who follows truth, kindness and discipline will achieve a lot from life and have and feel fulfilled with everything he does and puts his hand into.